Don't even let this one warm up. Where you go?
It's done.
It's messy.
So how many miles you got on it?
Probably 130, give or take.
It's probably never been done. Oh, let me get in position. Don't get my plumber's crack or nothing.
I know. That's what I always tell him. He likes to get the rear view.
That's the wrong channel.
He likes to get the rear view angle.
I just feed this down between like the intercooler, the radiator, and then let it blow. Gas from the front. Won't fall. Yeah, so you watch out, it's blowing everything out of the front right now. Get all the dirt out of there. So we can't really help it with the landfills and everything getting dusty. Our fan's always sucking dirt up in here.
Man, I could use that on my trucks driving home on the back roads for real.
Yeah, really.
Because my shit be getting bad.
What bell we got ringing?
I don't know, a church bell or something. I don't think I've ever heard it out here.
There we go. Roll it around and go through that radiator. Ain't too bad. You want to use air instead of water. That water is going to turn all this dirt to mud. And that's just going to stick and it's going to want to come out very good. So I'll clean everything good with air. And then I'll go through and rinse it with water. But I try to get pretty much everything out that I can with air first. This truck ain't too old, not too bad. You can see the cloud of stuff down there at the bottom coming out. Yeah, your AC, your intercooler, your radiator, your oil cooler, trans cooler, everything relies on airflow. So the cleaner this stuff is, the better all that stuff works. Bottom corner of the thing, baby. Let us keep blowing until stuff quits coming out. Let's see the other side. I try not to blow anything deeper into the intercooler or anything up front. So I blew all that out first. Anything that's on the front side of that radiator is going to be pretty small because it's already come through the intercooler and everything. With this wand I can reach in there between the fan and radiator and blow stuff out, but all it's going to do is blow it right back in between those two, so that's why I just work from the middle and out both directions. Let's see if we got a good view. Yeah, because your AC, your intercooler, and then your oil cooler, transmission cooler, everything should be mounted on this front. So like you can see, like that's your intercooler. This one's going to be for your AC, these lines going in. Mm-hmm. And then your trans cooler is probably underneath there. That may like see in there. But, so those are stacked. I mean, like mine was so bad, I actually took everything loose and pulled that intercooler away because it was just caked. And then when I bought that International, yours wasn't too bad, but yeah, so feeding in between them, and I just blow everything, because everything gets sucked from the front in. Mm-hmm. So obviously I went from the other way and just blew it back out the front. If I did that same thing on the radiator, it's going to blow everything right back in between them. So I just kind of go in the middle and blow. From the radiator, that's been essentially filtered, because anything big would have got caught by the intercooler. Right. So it's going to be small stuff through there. So I just went and blew the radiator back, everything else forward, and just keep blowing so you don't get any more dust and dirt coming out of there. Like I said, yours wasn't near as bad as mine. And my Kenworth wasn't bad when I got it either. The International's horrible.
Was it?
Hence overheating it and blowing a head gasket. It was summer, I was frustrated and just said, screw it, I'm driving it. One of the easiest things that I've personally been put out of service for is brakes being out of adjustment. There's, down here on the bottom, I don't know if you can see it from underneath. So this is your adjuster. This is how you adjust your brakes. I'm not going to say it's for every truck. Every truck I own, the way you set them is you tighten this up all the way till it stops. You don't get crazy with it. Just crank it till it stops and then back it off half a turn. On this style, this right here, they make a tool to pry this out, or you can use a screwdriver. This can take your tension off. It just pops out a little bit and you can back that off. Some of the older click styles, they don't have that release. It just has like detent, so it'll just kind of click. But check the specs on your truck. But even all your newer vehicles should have automatic slack adjusters. You can trust that they're working and risk getting caught, or every now and then when you go under it, greasing the truck, I check mine every time I grease the truck. When I go under it and do the drive line and brakes and everything, I go ahead and I readjust all my brakes, make sure they're within spec. I personally, years ago, got put out of service for that.
What's within spec? How do you know what's within spec though?
Well, it's by your, so different brake chambers will have different travel parameters. I can't remember what your actual 1 inch, I think it's 1 inch of stroke is ideal. Now you're gonna be lying on camera. But I know that the proper adjustment for both of my Kenworths is to run them all the way in and out half a turn. But yeah, so look up your specs if you actually are going to go adjusting your own brakes. Is that all your stuff's new? The real new trucks like the Kenworth with your disc brakes, there is no adjustment on those. This one, the International, will have a spec. Google should be able to tell you. Your brake chamber should have a part number on it that will tell you what number it is. Yours has automatic adjusters. One of my trucks does, one doesn't. But I've had automatic slack adjusters not work. Another good practice that you can do on anything that has automatic slack adjusters, so like your International or this one, every now and then you do it when you sit at the landfill or board, stand on that brake pedal as hard as you can and wait a few seconds, let off. Do that a couple times because it's putting like max pressure, getting full stroke out of that, which will help them adjust if they're working correctly. They should, as you're braking, they should adjust, especially under hard braking, but just, you're not going to hurt anything. Just sit there and just stand on the brake pedal. That's just going to get you full stroke, max PSI, which will help that get to that next click if it needs it, if they're worn to the point where it can get that next setting. I'm trying to think, yeah, with Blitz Week, fluids.
Well, Blitz Week, we should touch on that right now.
It's going on right now.
Well, by the time they watch this, yeah, Blitz Week's over. But just so you guys know, Blitz Week is
72 hours of DOT inspections, basically. I was going to say that worse, but they do it every year. They will have cops set up everywhere. In our group text, we had a guy sent us a picture over in Arlington. They had 5 cops sitting on the side of the road, just waiting.
It's nationwide.
Yeah, they will. I know a lot of guys that take these days off, go fishing, go do whatever. But they're going to pull you over. That's when they're going to check your truck. Any kind of oil leaks, if even, like I replaced a hub cover on my truck and we didn't clean the old oil the other day. I told Tanner, hey, you better go wash that before Blitz starts. Any kind of oil residue, anything to draw attention. A clean truck is a safe truck. Man, keep your truck clean. I would recommend doing it anyways, but especially during Blitz Week, make sure it's clean, no oil residue. Make sure all your fluids are topped off, tires are in good shape, all your lights are working. And they're gonna look under that, and I guarantee you get stopped on Blitz Week, like 98% sure they're gonna get underneath your truck. I'm sure most people don't, especially employees, company drivers, a lot of owner operators. If you don't know what you're looking for, you might not think it's a good idea to get under there, but every now and then you'll see something hanging. Make sure nothing's dripping. Make sure, you can tell if something's out of place. You might not necessarily know how to fix it or know what the part's called, but if something looks weird, hey, I can tell something's been rubbing. Hey, I see something cracked. Hey, I see, gosh, it's brand new Kenworth, that hydraulic hose leaking, not leaking, hanging, like right after you got it. One of the brackets had come loose. Just look around every now and then. Like I said, you might catch something before it's a real issue. But yeah, during Blitz Week, like I said, too late for this video, it'll already be over. But
it happens every year though.
Yeah, so it happens every year. Next year. But yeah, that's one thing, guaranteed. And that's the one where the record drivers love it. I ran records for years. Blitz Week, we made a lot of money because they put a lot of trucks out of service.
And they usually focus on 2 or 3 items. Yeah, especially
they'll focus on something per season usually.
Yep. And this year, I believe it has to do with what was it? Driver documentation.
Your paperwork, and I was told lights. Lights was one thing that I was told they were really strict on this time.
And doesn't mean if they find an air leak, they're not going to get you on an air leak. It's just these are some of the things they're going to actually
so many trucks through there. They're going to have their main things they're checking. I think it was brakes last year was the one that they were really.
Yep, I remember it being brakes.
They were getting under and measuring and checking everybody's brakes. But it's a good idea to keep on top of that stuff anyways all year. But yeah, if you're not familiar with Blitz Week, it is primarily a DOT thing. I have seen them pull medium duty trucks in under CDL trucks just because if you're running an air brake system and they're looking for air brake problems, you're still susceptible for inspection. But yeah, so we got the brake adjustment. That's pretty simple. Look at the specs on your truck. We're going to put that other part with the brake can, how to cage the brakes. The other thing, I don't know if I talked on that when we did the brake chamber part. I showed you how to cage the brakes. You can also back that adjustment out, like all the way off, and release your brakes manually that way. If you have an air leak, you'll still have to block the line or something to that effect. But you can either cage the brakes or back the adjusters all the way out. I don't recommend doing that, caging it. If you take the adjuster out, then you got to readjust them. If you cage them, they're still set. So once you fix your air leak, you're fine. But if for some reason you end up not having a caging bolt on the truck, somebody stole them, last tow truck driver didn't put them back in, whatever, you can back off the adjustment and release the brakes that way.
I'd rather just show things too, like as we go along with you being here more on the channel, and maybe, I don't know, we won't set a time frame, but maybe like once a month or whatever it is, whenever you have time, really. But as we go along, like just do more showing up things that you can do, maintenance, right. Yeah. And then also as we get comments from you guys, like what are some of the things that you guys want to see that you guys are struggling with? Obviously, like nothing really big, just something that anybody can do, including myself, right? At the end of the day, like I'm gonna order one of these, and I'll put a link down below as well for one of these if you guys want one. But I'm gonna order one of these air gun things.
And the nice thing too, I don't know, we didn't show it on there, but so these holes right here is where it was blowing air out of when I was in there, so it's blowing everything out sideways. There's a plug in the end. I can take this out, and then if you want to get in and blow your engine off, I mean, you can reach down in all these spaces, blow all the dirt and dust out of all the little nooks and crannies and stuff without having to get your face and whole body in there and covered in all the mess.
Not everybody has a truck in the engine that's clean, so clean you can eat off of it, right? Like ours work. Yeah. Ours go through the ringer, ours go through the landfill. I mean, if we had a transfer station that was fairly reasonable that we could go to all the time, I would love that. I mean, obviously, we don't have that here. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So, rain or shine, you got to make money, right? How many people go to the landfill or don't go to the landfill when it rains? It's crazy how dead it is. But at the end of the day, we still got to make money. Yeah. Literally, we were just talking about that in the last rainfall. Somebody said when it rains, they don't go. It's not worth it for them. I'm like, dude, that's insane. It's
not an option for me.
It's not an option at all. Work's got to continue.
My two closest transfer stations from my house are actually further than the nearest landfill, and they cost more. So I hardly ever, unless I catch a job near the transfer station, I don't go to the transfer station. Yeah. The landfill is closer.
It's just too expensive. You're not profitable at that point. I still do. Sometimes time is worth more to me than money. So absolutely, if it's going to kill time, then I do what I got to do. Like I'll eat the cost. You know, definitely, I'd say 90%, 95% nowadays is going to be straight landfills, and rain or shine, mud, muck, whatever it is you got in there, we're running over it. So it's kind of important. It's kind of good to have this. I never did this myself, so it's kind of a good thing to add to your, monthly maintenance, or that probably doesn't even need to be monthly, at least.
I think I've done like once a year.
Yeah.
About all I've done. It's not too bad. Obviously, buying a used truck, I recommend doing it because you don't know what condition it's in. And that's where I did mess up a truck. When I bought it, used it, ran it. It was summer. The truck got hot, so therefore I lost my AC. What should have been about a 40-minute drive took me 4 hours because I kept having to slow down or pull over, let the truck cool down. And finally, I got irritated and said, I'm just going home. I don't care if it blows up. I'm going home. I was hot, tired, frustrated. And I still got to tear it apart, but I either cracked the head or blew a head gasket. After I got home, I did clean it. It was disgusting. The truck doesn't overheat anymore, but now I've got combustion in my coolant system, so create a bigger problem. So yeah, doing that, rinsing that out, blowing it out. Like I said, I'd hit it with air first, get all the big stuff out before we ever put water to it, or just make a big muddy putty across there, basically. But yeah, doing that, I mean, once a year should be plenty, honestly. Most of our landfills do wet their roads fairly regular, so it's not always dusty. Sometimes it is. Yeah, just one of them simple maintenance deals that could save you breakdowns, blown head gaskets, thousands of dollars in issues.
Anything else you want to touch on before we go?
I almost said Waste Expo. The Dumpster Expo.
This guy knows what's up. What about the Dumpster Expo?
Be there. Or if you're not, just quit following the channel. Leave us alone. Get off the 101 page. I'm just kidding. November 7th and 8th.
Heck yeah.
Dumpster Expo in Ponder, Texas.
Yep.
Just down the road from Keystone. Covered facility. It'll be a 2-day. It's a Friday and Saturday, correct?
Friday and Saturday with a pre-mixer on Thursday night.
Yep, so we're not going to take up 2 weekdays or your whole weekend. We split it this time. Try to make as many people happy as possible. Yeah, be there November 7th and 8th. Tickets are available right now. The mixer has its own. That was an additional ticket for all the events, correct?
It's the VIP ticket.
Yes,
will get you into the pre-mixer, and I got some pretty cool things planned for the pre-mixer too. So
yeah, we had a really good turnout last year at the pre-mixer. That was cool because during what was the showcase pre-show, the expo, there's a lot of people, a lot of vendors, guest speakers, a lot going on. The pre-mixer was actually where we all just got to actually meet, shake hands, talk, eat. That's where most those connections that lasted through the event. We met them the night before, then we're kind of buddies during the event. That was a really, if people were in town, like, hey, let's go get dinner. It turned into a much bigger, cooler experience than I think we had planned. So that mixer was definitely worth going to.
Super cool way to kind of like, if you're on edge about meeting new people or whatever, super chill, relaxed. We're gonna have appetizers. I also have secured the Hilton, the same one again from last year. So hopefully by the time this video drops, the room block will be in there. It's $119 a night at the Hilton, includes breakfast. But last year, a lot of guys waited till the last minute and they lost out. The room block is only good up until 90 days, I think 90 or 120 days before the event. Okay. So you got to book the room like at least 90 days before the event. Otherwise, the room's over and then you're paying regular rate. If not, you're risking not even being there. So I know last year too, even at the hotel was really cool because
I wasn't there. I live close enough.
Hotel's cool.
So I figured there's a bunch of cool mingling going on at the hotel too.
Lots of good, getting breakfast, getting coffee, seeing people coming in and out. So that was pretty neat too. So
you're gonna have all your famous YouTubers there.
We'll see.
Mr. Josh Roman.
Hopefully they all show up. I don't know if Josh is showing up. He's kind of a chump lately. It's all about networking and giving.
The vendors are a plus. Meet some good people. Get to see some 100%. Product. Get some deals. Everybody's usually got some kind of product sale or promotion going on. The networking. There's always some cool guest speakers. Be there.
For sure. Don't forget to like, subscribe,
smash that notification button.
Hell yeah! We'll see you on the next one.